Let's take a look at Shiba Inu. The last time we looked at Shiba was on October the 11th. Here is a quick recap. Shiba was consolidate inside the symmetrical wedge and connect all this high-low point. That is the resistance trend line. Connect all this low-high. This gives us the symmetrical wedge. Shiba broke out of the resistance of the symmetrical wedge earlier this morning. Another thing to look at is the Bollinger Band. When Shiba spiked up to about 0.5, the band started to get overextended. And after that, Shiba consolidated within the symmetrical wedge. The band started to contract to the point where the width of the band got very narrow as the momentum continued to build up, and then the price spiked up. The Bollinger Band expanded. Now Shiba is riding the upper band of this Bollinger Band. So definitely buyers are taking control and they're pushing the price up. Technically, breakout of this symmetrical wedge would take Shiba to our target price of 0.4. But here is one of my concerns. Shiba broke out of the symmetrical wedge during late trading hour, and the volume is relatively low. We have to be careful with the fact that right now Shiba is spiking up on low volume. So the key for us to observe today is whether or not Shiba can cross over the 0.3 on strong volume. If that was to happen, then there is a very high probability that Shiba would begin this new run-up in price. Fast forward, this is the hourly chart for Shiba, and the data I have is to 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on October the 13th. Last time when we look at Shiba was right at this point. After Shiba broke out of the symmetrical wedge and started to trend up, it ran all the way to about, let's just call it 0.32. Volume picked up a little bit. But then after that, all of a sudden, volume started to tapering off, and that caused the price to retrace. Dropped down to about 0.28. Bounce up, ran to about 0.31. Get pushed down again. And again, volume is low. Drop all the way down to about 0.29. Bounce up, but then the high is lower than the prior high. So what's happening is, for the past couple of days, Shiba is again in consolidations and is very much forming a new symmetrical wedge. This is really disappointing. Here's the reason why. Normally, when we see a breakout, we would expect to see the volume pick up, and the volume would propel the price to run up, retest the prior high, and possibly running higher. Here is an example of a typical breakout. Polkadot was consolidated within this symmetrical wedge, broke out. As you can see, the minute it broke out, volume picked up significantly. Unfortunately, when Shiba broke out of the symmetrical wedge, we didn't see volume pick up like what we saw with Polkadot. And that's the reason why Shiba was not able to continue this upward trend, retest the all-time high, and potentially cross over that. So here we are looking at Shiba again is in consolidation. Volume is tapering off. Very soon, Shiba is going to get near the apex. So it's just a matter of within the next day or two, the price will either pop to the upside or drop to the downside. A breakdown of the resistance of the symmetrical wedge could potentially take Shiba all the way down to about 0.2, where it would retest this prior low, break to the upside, and if volume were to pick up, then we're looking at Shiba retesting the all-time high at 0.35 and potentially cross over and reach our target price of 0.4. I hate to sound like a typical weatherman, which is like 50 chance for it to run up and 50 chance for it to drop. Here's the thing. What's on our side is normally when we see a symmetrical wedge that appear during an uptrend, this tends to indicate a continuation. However, unless the volume pick up, I don't believe that there is no buying momentum right now that could propel Shiba to cross over this all-time high and run up to about 0.4. So I really hate to say this, and I hope that Shiba will prove me wrong. But there is a very high probability we are going to see Shiba retest this prior low at 0.2 before we see another all-time high. That's it for this video, and don't forget to click that like button and reward me with a like if you appreciate the content that I'm presenting. Also, if you are new to my channel, don't forget to click that subscribe button and subscribe, and make sure you turn notification on. And if you have Twitter, make sure you follow me at Vietmaxim, because I provide constant update on all of our favorite cryptos.